Welcome back to the Hood News Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 23, week 5 preview. My voice hell just cracked. Anyways, I got with me MFB.
Yeah.
And BBTV.
AKA Bench 550, AKA Do What It Does what it do.
That's enough, bro. We know. Yeah.
Your league winner.
We've heard it.
You know
you're not winning.
Yo.
So, anyways, we're back. Week 5 preview. We're going to jump into it. Let's get started with Thursday Night Football. Bucks versus Falcons, and you're obviously starting Mike Evans. You're starting Godwin. Are you starting for this in this matchup? What do you do with Bucky Irving and Rachaad White?
If you know me, I've been fading a lot of Bucks running backs, and so I don't know who to start. But I think Bucky might take over. So this could be the game that he does take over because Kamara had a solid game last week against the Falcons.
Kamara?
Last week. So pretty much Bucky could take over, because Rachaad White hasn't been producing. So I might lean towards Bucky.
I got them kind of back to back in my rankings, both in the flex range, just because I do see more of a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
The coach, I believe, was saying we're not going to lean on one more than the other. So now I think they implement just a 50-50 timeshare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty split in the backfield there. So, I think you can flex either of those guys. That sounds good. And then you're going to start Baker Mayfield if you have him. He's probably better than a lot of other waiver quarterbacks. Do you start? Man, who do you take, Baker Mayfield or Aaron Rodgers?
Baker.
Probably Baker for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a Thursday Night Football game, primetime game. Bucks Falcons. Whoever wins this game is currently will be the top of the NFC South. I think this game might be a shootout. Because Bucks score a lot of points. Falcons can move the ball too, So I don't know. I like a lot of players in this matchup.
Cool.
I want to get your guys' thoughts on the Bijan Robinson.
Okay, on the Falcons side, yeah.
Second, third, fourth RB off the board, right, in drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Not performing amazing, but, what do you guys think about him? Will he finish strong? Will he come back up? Is he a sell candidate? Is he a buy candidate?
I think he's more of a buy candidate, in my opinion, just because, week 1, he had Pittsburgh, and then Philly, he didn't run that much. 14 attempts, 97 yards. He's not really finding the end zone. He's getting a lot of yards, but not really finding the end zone. Well, against the Saints, he only had 28 yards on the ground, 46 in the air. And then against Kansas City, only 31 yards on the ground, 20 in the air. So, and he did find the end zone that game, but he's just not getting in the end zone. And I don't know if that's just Algier poaching the touchdowns, or if that's just they're not getting close enough to the red zone to get those touchdowns.
Yeah, that is one key point you made. Is Algier took, I think, over half the carries last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead,
BBC. What were you gonna say?
I was just about to say, I think Bijan is kind of the guy you want him to boom one week and then you sell him away. Even though he might like look good, I don't know, man. Like, everyone was hyped that Arthur Smith last season was gone. And then now, brand new head coach, brand new OC, I don't know, man. It's just, they just don't see it in Bijan. Even though Bijan's a stud, Algier's getting his playing time, man. So
this is something that I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about. The Falcons offense doesn't look great, and the OC we don't know what the OC is doing. There's nothing creative going on.
Yeah.
And the Falcons was definitely one of the offenses that was so hyped coming into drafts, right? And they're not really living up to it. I low-key agree with Kimo. I think Bijan's more of try to get him, try to buy him from any seller, right? I'll give you one interesting stat is Bijan has seen stacked boxes on 18% of his rushes. And that's the highest in the league of any running back seeing a stacked box.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why that's happening. Is it just easy to predict when they're gonna rush it with Bijan? So
No clue.
That's the thing, right? Are they going to see less stacked boxes that'll help Bijan? You know, it just depends.
Yeah. I mean, speaking on, I think he's a buy low, but talking about Algier, do you flex Algier? Like, what do you do with him? Or do you sit him?
I don't know. That's like a desperation flex.
Yeah, he had 8 carries last week for 60 yards. He was pretty good. It's kind of like a change of pace back. And then they're playing Tampa this week, you're able to run more on them just over their first couple games.
I think Algier, because of the volume he gets, is like, you know, a low flex play. I got him kind of like next to Braylon Allen if you want to start them, either of them this week.
Sure.
But it like a lot of people are overreacting, like, oh, Algier did better with the ball, so he's better than Bijan. Like, no, bro, you sound crazy.
No,
that's not the case.
Yeah.
No.
Right? Like, he's the backup for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as fantasy this week, I think like just a low flex option.
Yeah. If you're dealing with the bye weeks, you can flex Algier and you have no other option, sure. But try to find a pivot for your flex position. I don't think you should be flexing him unless you have to use him in your lineup. Drake London. Oh, you're going to say something, BBT?
I was about to say just one person that y'all need to really sit is just Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, you guys need to sit.
If you have an alternative to Pitts, go ahead and play him. Pitts has been looking not good. But you expect this game to be a shootout. I think you just, if you have Pitts,
I don't know,
draft him, just ride with him. I think ride with Pitts.
I saw Pitts get traded. I think you're in the league, Chemo.
Yeah.
And I forgot what he got traded for.
It was Alan Lazard for Kyle Pitts last week before he played.
That was before the donut.
Yes, before the donut.
There was something after the donut, bro.
No way. All right. Well, I'll have to look back. If you can find it while we're recording, we can talk about it. But I saw the Lazard one. I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, I think Pitts is more valuable than Lazard, and then he drops the donut. So, maybe not much more valuable. Pitts dude. I mean, this whole offense has been just a question mark, dude. Because we really thought, you're gonna have Kirk come in and just ball out. The offensive coordinator is changing. Everything's going to change. Like it's the offense going to be better. They're going to move the ball better. Pitt's going to have he's finally going to have his breakout season after like 4 seasons. And or is it his 3rd season?
4th.
Yeah, bro. And he's been cheeks every season. So, I don't think Pitts is going anywhere, but you can start him in this matchup, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a bit more of a shootout. He did have a dud. I don't think he does it twice in a row. You're obviously starting the other wide receiver, Drake London. Do you flex Mooney, flex option in the shootout?
Yeah.
He had 6 targets last week, 56 yards. I think he's
very flexible. Like if you need someone and you don't know who, I think Mooney could be a safe play.
Not to spend too much time. I know this is a Thursday night matchup and we're taking a lot of time on it, but Cade Otton last week for the Bucks had 9 targets, 6 receptions, 52 yards.
Solid.
Do you play him or Pitts?
Cade Otton.
He hates Kyle Pitts. I play Pitts, bro. I play Pitts. Nah. Hey, you heard it from BBTV. Play Cade Otton over Pitts if you have Pitts.
No. In my rankings, I have them back to back, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Who's on top? Crazy. Who's on top in the rankings? You gotta tell us.
On top, but
Pitts is on top. All right,
it's a slight margin, bro. That's it. But they're close.
That's crazy.
They haven't really used Cade Otton this year. He had 8 targets week 3 and then 9 targets week 4. So maybe on the rise. They're starting to throw more targets his way. Trey Palmer's out, I think, this week. So the targets are going somewhere. That's the 3rd string wide receiver on that depth chart. Anyways, let's move on. That's enough about Kyle Pitts in that game. To the Jets Vikings game, which is the 6:30. It's in London, right? London game?
London, yeah.
Okay, 6:30 in the morning. If you really love football that much, prove it. Wake up at 6:30 and watch the game.
I ain't waking up, bro. Promise you I ain't waking up.
Justin Jefferson on the. Let's start with the Jets side of things. Garrett Wilson hasn't been that great this year. Are you guys worried about him, or is he still a buy low candidate? What do you do with him?
I don't know, man. Rodgers loves throwing the ball to everyone else.
He's just
Like,
distributing, right?
Dude, I thought Garrett Wilson, like, even though he plays well, knows how to open up the field for the other guys, he's just like, I don't know, man. Like, Rodgers just loves throwing it to like everyone else.
He doesn't seem to have a great connection, Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. And so people are starting to ask, is Wilson really like a number one receiver? You know?
No clue.
I think I mean, that's not the question I would be asking, because we looked to last year and he had like the worst QBs of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
He was still like doing his thing. Right?
I think he's on 7 QBs in 3 seasons or something like that. 7 different QBs. Just
something crazy, right? And he was doing his thing, right? Now, granted, he was seeing a lot of volume. And I don't know if you heard like the talks or press conferences this week, specifically with Jets. It's like both Rodgers and Garrett Wilson were like, we're not doing what other teams are doing, right? Like if we look at, for example, the Detroit play where like they did like the little scoop, the Scooparoo Gibbs to Amon-Ra or whatever, run for a touchdown.
Oh yeah,
Amon-Ra pass to Goff for a touch. Like they're not getting creative whatsoever, right? Because they got a bum Nathaniel Hackett, bro. F that homie, used to be the Broncos coach. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So like they're not getting creative at all, but they have the offense to do it. And that's what the players were saying. If you listen to the press conferences, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they could switch up and start like being more creative and doing more things, and like just taking more risk, they'll probably produce more.
That's true.
I mean, in theory, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's something they were discussing. Anyways, back to like points and where I see Garrett Wilson this week. Probably like wide receiver 2. Mid to low wide receiver 2. Okay. I think he's a good buy low, but like managers won't sell him for that low that I've seen recently.
Yeah. Do you even consider flexing the other 2 options over there? You had Mike Williams last week had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 67 yards, and that was against Denver. And then you had the other guy, Allen Lazard, had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 58 yards.
I think you flex Allen Lazard. I like Allen Lazard.
In this game,
in this game for sure. Yeah.
He's like a low flex for me. I'm not crazy about Lazard.
Yeah,
I think he has his like good games, but he's like a not desperation, but low end flex.
I definitely switching to the running backs, right? I definitely have Brees like bouncing back, like from the performance last week.
Yep.
Oh, easily, 100%. If you guys watched the game, it was really slippery, rain.
Yeah.
Broncos just played amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Minnesota has a pretty good run defense. At least the stats.
Minnesota D's been balling out. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Is Brees more of a buy low candidate after that kind of fluke game? And if he performs bad again with Braylon Allen getting more touches, do you buy Brees Hall while he's cheaper?
I mean, I don't. Not yet. By definition, I don't consider Brees a buy low because no manager is going to see one bad performance and be like, "Shit," you know.
Well, I'm not talking about just the bad performance.
You see like a Swift performance, like 3 weeks of nothing, and you're like, "Well, let me sell him for anything."
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about. Yeah. But I'm saying like when I say, all right, let me rephrase that. When I say buy low, I mean buy him lower than he's worth. Like pay less for him than what you would have to pay because they're talking about involving Braylon Allen more. He did better last week than Braylon Allen did better than Brees Hall last week against Denver. So if he does it again against Minnesota, then are people going to start worrying like, is Braylon Allen are they just going to share more? I don't think there's no way Braylon Allen takes over by any means. Right.
Yeah.
But just the fact that the coach is like, well, we like it when they split carries. Like we're just going to split these guys. We're going to do our own version of Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty, and we're just going to have Braylon Allen and Brees Hall. And then Brees Hall's value is just like drops, you know? So that's what I'm saying is like, if that happens again against Minnesota, do you go out and get him?
I don't know, man. I'm not.
We can discuss it because I don't want to get too deep into it, but to put it in short, like if they become truly in a timeshare, then you're going to buy Brees at the price of where he is valued in a timeshare. And you're not going to get upside out of it, quote unquote, because you bought him at that price, and in theory, unless Braylon gets hurt, he's going to stay at that price.
Okay.
Right? There's no upside of him going back to take over the backfield.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, like moving forward, like I wouldn't even trade Aaron Jones for Breece Hall. I have Aaron Jones just so much higher just because of how much touches Braylon Allen takes off of Breece Hall.
This homie's bugging.
I would trade Aaron Jones for Breece Hall, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That was gonna. Did you see me squint? I was like,
no. I'm keeping Aaron Jones. I have Aaron Jones as a league winner.
League winner for the value at which you got him in the draft. Yes,
yeah,
in terms of what the value you're getting, but no, not better than or not above Breece Hall. That's.
I mean, as an actual player, Breece Hall is better.
Look, wild take number 6 million
23
BBTB guys. Let's move on to the Vikings, man. We've been on the Jets for a while. Vikings, you play Jets. Sam Darnold, if you picked him up in this matchup, the Jets are a tough matchup, so maybe you bench him this week. I don't know.
Darnold's probably not going to have an amazing week. He's like QB2 range this week, unless he just proves me wrong again and throws 4 TDs. But
you have to realize
that's never happened.
So if you look at I don't want to take too much time, but like the QB matchup for the Jets is terrible, right? But the Jets played against Brock Purdy week 1, and then Tennessee week 2, and then they played New England week 3, and then Denver Bo Nix week 4. So they haven't really played against an amazing top level QB by any means, or even a really good. I mean, you could say Purdy was probably the best QB they played against, right? But Bo Nix, and then Jacoby Brissett, and then whoever the QB is in Tennessee, but
Will Levis.
That's right, Will Levis. But yeah, I mean, so he could have a good game if you don't have an option because of bye weeks. I think you can play Sam Darnold.
Yes, I mean, I don't see him going crazy, but if you need some kind of comfort, maybe some kind of in between 13 to 16 point kind of quarterback, just versus the Jets defense.
Yeah. Jordan Addison, is he a flex or is he a wide receiver 2? What do you guys have him?
I got him at the low wide receiver 2.
I got him in flex range this week.
Okay, I'm closer to the
my call out. Like, I have Jets D kind of just locking down this week.
Oh, okay.
Just by my metrics, right? Kind of like the same metrics I had where I had Seattle just lock down Miami that one week. Same thing. I got Jets D locking down.
Jordan Addison blew up last week. He only had 3 receptions, 72 yards, a touchdown, and then he had a 7-yard rush touchdown, which he stole from Aaron Jones, is my guess. But this is where you talk about doing those different plays where you have your receiver run it in. That the Jets are probably lacking that kind of variety in their offensive plays. But yeah, I would put Jordan Addison probably the low end wide receiver 2, like BBTB had him.
I think the top Vikings, I think it's going to be like a wide gap. Like, it's going to be Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones getting a lot of the points amongst them. Like they're going to get 75% of the points, and the rest will be spread out amongst other random people.
I see it.
Makes sense.
So I think it'll be
Okay. Let's move on. Panthers Bears. On the Panthers side, Deontay Johnson looks great with Andy Dalton there. He looks, like what they wanted when they traded for him or when they went and got him. So he's been doing good. You put him in your lineup. He's a high-end wide receiver too. I like Deontay Johnson, although he's dealing with an ankle injury. Could be just veteran rest day. We are recording this on a Wednesday.
I got Deontay as a low wide receiver 1 this week.
Okay. Wow. The Bears defense is pretty good.
They are pretty good. But I think with the sheer amount of volume he's getting, like 30% target share, I think it kind of bumps him up.
Last 2 weeks, 14 targets, 13 targets. He's getting an insane amount of targets.
That's nuts, bro.
I don't know though, bro. Low wide receiver 1's crazy.
It's not that crazy. I said high end wide receiver 2. It's like same thing.
I mean, I don't have him as high end. I have him as like low end wide receiver 2.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah.
He's been. I think just with the volume that he's getting, I just expect. I can see the Bears defense. Whatever. Either way, you can look at it how you guys want, but we can look at it however we want. But I like Deontay Johnson just overall as a player. Chuba Hubbard, man, the running back. I mean, I said he wouldn't do it again. He did it again last week.
I also got Chuba as low RB1, bro.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Low end RB1.
I'm high on that. I'm high on that. I like that.
I know you saw Chuba and you're like, what the hell's going on?
I
kind of was too, but I told you, even after he went off, I'm like, he's going to go off again.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, he's going to do well again. And he's going to do well again, bro. He's like a solid option.
Yeah. No, especially against the Bears.
I like him a lot. Definitely underestimated him a lot. So, yeah, if you have Chuba Hubbard, plug him in your lineup, man. He's been doing great. And so unless we see otherwise, keep him in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the fire that he's on. Xavier Legette, is he a flex? I have him more of like a flex play.
I think like he's going to be the receiver that like gets locked down the most by Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. I got him as like flex range, like low flex range.
Yeah,
I have him like mid. I have him like mid to low flex range, but more mid range. I think he'll get enough to give you what you need. He's not projected that many fantasy points. He had 10 targets last week, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have Andy Dalton and you have Sam Darnold, I'd rather start Sam Darnold than Andy Dalton in this game, I think. I don't know. I just feel like that would be, they're about equal, honestly, with the defenses here. Onto the Bears side of things with the worst rookie QB, Caleb Williams. He's being dropped in a lot of leagues. I think you bench him this week.
People are not happy.
I don't know why you would be. DJ Moore, where do you have him? Low end wide receiver 2?
Yeah, pretty much low wide receiver 2. I just don't have faith in Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
DJ Moore will see most of the targets, but at what end, bro? Like, you know, it doesn't look great for any of the receivers this week to me. Against Carolina,
I think you can flex from Odunze, in my opinion. I think he's flexible.
Yeah, I have DJ Moore as a wide receiver too, and I have Odunze as a high flex. That's what I see.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I got both Keenan Allen and Rome as like very low flex.
I think you can bench Keenan Allen until he does something. I don't know what his target is.
I'm not high on any of the Chicago receivers right now, mainly because of Caleb, though. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Okay. I mean,
what we didn't talk about is Swift, right? Who had an insane comeback, which we already covered in our recap. But I got him like kind of mid RB2 this week.
Yeah,
I think. I think he doesn't get the same passing volume because he got a crazy passing volume last week. But I think he'll still like come back and maybe he got some momentum now and he'll carry it with him and get on the radar again.
I really think this last week for him was like prove everyone wrong because they were talking about pulling Roschon Johnson more and like giving more of the workload, sharing it more with him and Roschon and like giving Roschon Johnson more snaps. And I think he was like, nah, I'm the number one. Let me prove it. And that's what this kind of was.
Yeah, I'm liking Swift a lot this week. RB2, mid RB2 for sure.
I have a mid RB2 as well.
Yeah.
And then Roschon Johnson, do you flex him or consider flexing him? Do you think he just gets more phased out of the offense as Swift takes over, or
probably not? Probably gets maybe a little bit of carries.
Okay.
What I would watch out for if he vultures again, because they kind of put him in to like take a tud.
They literally took his tud. Swift did his thing and then literally took his tud. I saw it.
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, maybe they're giving him a break or whatever, and they think that they're doing him a favor, but they're just ruining his fantasy day.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, that. At the end of the day, these guys shouldn't be worried about fantasy. But yeah, they might do it again. So be on the lookout for that. Roschon Johnson, desperation flex play. Are we done with that matchup?
Yeah.
Okay. Browns, Commanders. Forget the Browns for a sec. The Commanders look good, man. I just want to start with them because Washington looks good, man. That team is firing on every cylinder.
Yeah. What you got? Jaden Daniels, man. That's rookie
we talked
QB.
About him. Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Crazy.
Going from the worst rookie QB, going from the worst rookie QB to the best rookie QB. On the other side, in this matchup, man.
I got Jaden Daniels finishing like top 5 QB of the week this week.
Oh, easily. I see it.
Man. Yeah.
I see it.
I mean, the Cleveland defense has been pretty good, but no one's been able to stop this guy. He's going crazy. Baltimore will be a nice test for him. That game will be interesting. Week 6.
The next
But
one. Yeah. This game's definitely like a test too, but they just look really good, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, so like we talked about Jaden, right? He's calm, he's cool, he's collected.
Mhm.
Brian Robinson too. Brian Robinson looks pretty good out there.
He's been going in, yeah.
I think he is monitoring some type of injury right now.
It's a knee injury, but we record these on Wednesday, and a lot of Wednesday injuries are veteran rest days, or they make up something and then they end up playing. So just monitor his status for the week, guys that are listening.
Yeah.
But I think Brian Robinson plays. I don't think it's anything serious.
If he does play, I got him low RB1. Like,
yes.
Their team has just been moving like really well.
100%. McLaurin, wide receiver 2. Or flex. Is he in the flex range?
More flex range.
Okay.
More high flex for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got this game dependent on like Jaden rushing and also just the rush game in general.
Okay.
Yep.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, the Cleveland defense is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, that's about it on that side. What do you do with Austin Eckler if he comes back from a concussion? Do you flex him? Like
Nothing.
Desperation flex?
Nothing.
I don't
Bench
know.
him?
Flex, pray for a TD.
I mean, we had.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's not much you can expect out of
Hit him.
the backup had against Arizona like 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, McNichols.
So that would basically be Austin Eckler if he comes back. He would be doing the same work that guy was getting, and I'm sure Eckler's better than Jeremy McNichols. So
Yeah.
I think Eckler's flex worthy if you need a flex, or if you're dealing with bye weeks. I think you can plug him into your lineup. He's okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a quick one. Eckler or Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt by a wide margin.
Yeah, huge margin.
Okay. If he play, okay, all right. Just throwing out names. Let's go to the Browns side. You have obviously Amari Cooper. You're starting him. Where do you have him ranked?
I have him low wide receiver 1 this week. I think he bounces back and does his thing.
Okay.
He had his Teddy call. He had his Teddy call back last week.
Yeah.
So
I do remember that.
Should have been some points.
I think I got him kind of back to back with Terry, bro. High flex ranges.
Wow.
I have him wide receiver 2. I don't have him in like a. I mean, that's such a safe position to put him in. I put him low end wide receiver 2. But
if you could play him, I'd say play him.
Yeah.
If you could play him, like for sure.
You're not looking to replace him with anyone else.
Yeah. Well, no, because he only had like I think 5 or 6 fantasy points last week, so people were started tripping maybe if they didn't watch the game like that.
His first 2 weeks were pretty bad. He had 9 targets, 8 targets. Is Deshaun Watson getting better, or is the offense moving better? Is it working better?
No, the offense looks way better than the 1 and 2 for sure. So I think they're starting to pick it up a little bit, and you got Nick Chubb coming back too, so that can.
That's true.
So Nick Chubb, they'll probably fit him in this week. Not go crazy with him, but like you're gonna see Nick Chubb go crazy on the run game. So defenses gotta, like do more plays for the run.
They gotta count for him.
Yeah, and then so the pass.
They're gonna ease him into the offense if they play him this week. So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I have, Nick Chubb, I'm trying to avoid starting him this week unless he.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough snaps to play this week.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy flex
worthy.
Yeah, I flex Jerry Jeudy.
I got him like low flex sit, bro.
Okay. And then I mean most teams have been thrown against Washington, but I mean I think that
not the Cardinals. Anyways.
Oh man, bro, don't bring that up, man. Come on.
Damn.
Jerome Ford, do you start him? Do you flex him?
I think he gets a tutty this week, dude. So I don't know. I think whatever yards he gets plus a tutty. So
I got him like mid-low RB2.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
I like that.
I mean, who else is getting the carries there? So
yeah,
he's decent.
Yeah, I mean Chubb might take some of those carries away if he comes back and he plays this week. So, but anyways, yeah, if he gets the tutty, he's worth playing. Moving on from that matchup onto the Dolphins, Patriots, sit everyone pretty much. There's no one worth starting. This matchup is terrible. Bro, like,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Patriots defense isn't the best. So like, and I know the Titans defense wasn't the best last week, but I don't know. I feel like you drafted a chain second or third round. I think you got to play a chain.
Obviously, not benching a chain or Tyreek Hill, right?
I got a chain like high RB2.
Okay. I like that.
This is a divisional game. Like they gotta, both teams gotta beat each other, right?
Yeah.
Now
Miami's QB situation is disgusting,
bro.
Snoop's not look good out there, bro. It was
oh
gosh, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruh.
I got the only starters. I chain high RB2. Tyreek Hill. He's been getting traded for fucking crumbs out there. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
I've been seeing some crazy trades for him, and I'm like, this must hurt, right?
Yeah.
But I got him like low wide receiver 2, just because like if Miami wants to win, they need to hyper target Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
100%.
It doesn't matter if the other team knows it or not. You have to hyper target him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which kind of sucks for any Waddle owners, right? Because he's like low flex at best. Now.
Yeah. I would be trying to pivot away from Waddle if possible.
Yeah. I would sit Waddle. That's just me.
I wouldn't go out of my way to sit him because you just don't want him to go and do anything on your bench. Like, you know what I mean? And you drafted him in probably like the fourth round.
But
he's a really tough sit. Like
I just didn't
feel bad. But you know the situation. You're like, shit, man.
Listen, real quick. Dontavian Wicks from Green Bay or Waddle? Who do you start?
Oh, Wicks.
Okay.
Bro, yeah, Wicks.
Romeo Dobbs from the same offense. Or
Jobs. Just because of the potential.
Jobs, for sure.
No, yeah. Dobbs. I said Dobbs.
We'll let the listeners decide what you said. But yeah, man, I mean, you're talking about Romeo Dobbs versus Waddle, and you're taking Dobbs. That offense is looking terrible.
Yeah.
Are you guys worried about Mostert if he comes back? About Achane's production?
Nah, because he didn't play last week, so he's probably gonna be limited in the game anyway.
Yeah, and they're on a bye next week, so yeah.
Can be dumb if they even played him.
They'd be like, just sit
low key. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots side, Ramondre's a big question mark, man. He has 4 fumbles in 4 weeks. So
the coach was talking about like considering starting Antonio Gibson.
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that.
Who also has been known to fumble, which is funny because Ramondre's doing it all. Like Gibson has fumbled a lot in the past. I remember in Washington last season, he fumbled the ball and they were like, yeah, you're not getting another carry. And it went all Brian Robinson after that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just wouldn't put my hopes up on Patriots players. Like, if you got to play a Patriot, like, I'm so sorry, your team is trash. So, like, I just wouldn't risk playing a Patriot. That's my opinion.
It is a divisional game. I don't think you really look at any of the receivers, man. Do you consider Hunter Henry if you're Henry or Kyle Pitts?
I'd play Hunter Henry.
I'd play Pitts, bro. I'm not gonna.
I don't know, man.
Like that.
Pitts, man.
I'm not playing Hunter Henry.
That's depressing.
He's
Nah, I mean, look, if I'm gonna start any Patriot, it's gonna be some running back. It's not gonna be any pass catcher.
Oh, usually.
If you have to, I think if you have to, then play them. But look for a pivot. Look for something.
Like if I had to start any Patriots offense, it's a running back.
Gibson or Ramondre. If you have one of them and you need to, then go ahead and start. But or flex or something. But they're both kind of shots in the dark.
Yeah, this matchup is going to be.
Do you guys think it's a kicker game? Do you play one of those kickers?
I don't know about a kicker game. I think it's a defense game. You play the defense.
Play the defense.
Yeah, defense is for sure. But I think it could be a kicker game, dude. I think
so.
On the low, like thinking about it right now.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But who though? That's the thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
How's that grape, bro? You've been fondling that grape for like 5 minutes, bro.
He's been playing last week. I was gonna say something, but I didn't.
He was rolling it around like
I have a plate of grapes right here, boys. All right, if you guys want some, you guys are here.
For sure. No, we're good, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Next matchup.
Colts Jags. On the Colts side, are you guys hoping for Anthony Richardson to be out or what?
hoping, praying.
Oh man, everybody
Bro.
kind of hoping for that.
What do you? Okay,
Everybody hoping for that.
to be honest, it looks like Anthony Richardson's I mean, right now it seems like
I think he's
he's trending toward playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Coach you to
so
bench
let
him,
me
bro.
ask you, what do you do with the receivers if he's playing?
Pray.
Only one low flex Pittman
Yeah.
if he plays, and if Flacco plays, low wide receiver 2.
Bro,
That's
he becomes
it.
like a mid wide receiver too if Flacco's playing, bro, against
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I
don't know,
but yeah,
man.
it's looking like Anthony Richardson's playing.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna have kind of a bold call out.
Oh shit.
I think this is Anthony Richardson's bounce back game.
I called it last week, and he got injured, and he didn't do anything. But I agree. I think this is the one. I know it was
I think
Pittsburgh.
this might be
bro.
the one.
I
I think this might be the one.
don't know.
Like
I think it
potential
could be as
finish
well.
top 8.
Oh, I don't
Top
know
8?
about that. I
That's
was
a
saying bounce
crazy
back
one.
like maybe
week,
top
of the
10.
Top 8 of the
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
My prediction.
top 10 or top 12, but like bouncing back from 5 points is not hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 points 2 weeks in a row is you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's been not good fantasy wise this year so far. So hopefully he
Mhm.
bounces back. The receivers, shots in the dark. Josh Downs, kind of boomer bust for me.
Mhm.
Could get a touchdown, could not. So, Jonathan Taylor, he did not practice on Wednesday. He had a high ankle sprain. So you need to go pick up Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
Sermon.
Automatic
you have
plug
him.
and play. If
Yep.
Taylor's out, which you're looking to be, I mean, I got Sermon as like low RB2 or high flex.
Low RB2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got
High
Sermon.
flex maybe, but yeah.
Just because
Yeah,
he didn't
I
look
agree.
great with the carries he had. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they threw him in and then he had to just kind of do whatever, and he just didn't like. I don't know. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be low RB2 if he plays.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the ball, Jaguars have looked better. They've gotten better. Not gonna
Better.
lie.
For sure.
Yeah, they started off terrible. Brian Thomas looks good. He had 9 targets for the last 2 weeks. He got a touchdown last week.
Mhm.
You start Brian Thomas?
Yeah. I have him as a wide receiver too. I like him.
Same.
I got him
Kirk?
like maybe low, very low wide receiver 2 in high flex range. Kirk, I have like a sit.
You have Kirk at a sit?
As a sit? I have him as a flex.
I have him as
At
a flex.
least a flex. I have like a
I think that
Mid to
connection last
high.
week,
Yeah,
him and
mid-
Lawrence
mid-
was connecting, dude.
mid to high end flex for me. He had 12 targets last week and 10 before. So like,
Yeah.
It's just me going off my rankings. Like, not everybody could be a flex, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know.
very good.
I mean, I could flex Kirk over Waddle. Like I'm flexing Kirk over Waddle for sure.
I would flex Kirk over Waddle for sure too.
Okay,
Yes, agreed.
because some of you guys had Waddle as like a low flex, and then you have him as sit. So like I'm just
Yeah,
taking
I
Kirk
get it.
over.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Both running backs are dealing with shoulder injury. Whoever starts, you play him. If ETN starts, you don't play Tank Bigsby. But if he sits, then you play Tank
Yeah,
Bigsby.
ETN should be locked as like low RB1, maybe high RB2 this week.
Yeah, but I think this is his third game getting hurt with something, dude. It's kind of
He's really
He be getting hurt year to year. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
every year he's got something, but he plays every game. Even last year, I think
he
he still
plays or like
played.
he'll miss like 2 games maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Do you
Chilling.
plug Evan Ingram back in if he starts, if he plays this week?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
Why not, bro? Tight end. Good luck,
Hey, Evan Ingram or
Yeah.
Kittles?
For that,
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. Evan
I
Ingram
agree.
done.
I'll take Evan Ingram over Cowpits.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Bills versus Texans. This should be let's hope it's a good matchup. I don't want to say anything in
No,
last week we talked about Bills Ravens being a good matchup, and look where that one went.
I mean, it was great for the Ravens, like Derrick Henry, man.
Yeah, but it was not really a shootout like we had anticipated. It was the opposite of that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, on the Bills side, I mean, Josh Allen bounce back game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or he better bounce back, or else question marks can start coming out. Shakir's in with an ankle injury. He didn't practice on Wednesday. Keep watching that. Kincaid, you start Kincaid, the tight end there. Do you look at? I mean, James Cook, obviously, start him. Any other receivers like Keon Coleman? Is he even worth looking at? Unless Shakir sits. If Shakir sits,
Nah.
Nah,
Shakir
he's
sits, sure, but like Keon Coleman,
Okay.
like nah, bro.
I'm sitting Coleman.
Okay.
Curtis Samuel, I got him even lower.
Yeah. Curtis is like 0, not involved at all.
Not
like
even mentioned.
they try to run plays with him, and he just does. They try to do like rush plays with him, like trick plays, and it just goes nowhere every time. I think they're realizing like, yeah, bro, you suck. We're just not going to use you anymore. That's it for the Bills. On to the Texans. Nico Collins, the number 1. We said it before,
dude.
Yeah,
he is
he's
solidified.
finishing like top 5 this week. He's a dog, menace.
Dog,
100%.
bro.
Stephon Diggs, plug him into your lineup. Wide receiver 2.
That's where
I have him ranked. Yeah. Tank Dell's coming back this week, right?
Low
Did
flex.
he practice? Did he flex? Did he practice? He limited practice on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of a lower end flex.
Yeah, I got him as flex. Just got to see what they do with him.
Right.
He is like known for like the big boom plays, but
right. Yeah.
the Bills have a good high 2 coverage, right? We talked about before.
Yeah.
And the Ravens didn't beat them by passing.
Not even close. Henry
They
put
beat him by
200
running.
on them.
Yeah, exactly, right?
200 yards.
The Ravens only threw 15 passes that game, bro. That was
Crazy.
With that in mind, it might be like, it might be a big Diggs game, right? Like the inside routes and Mixon just going dumb.
Diggs of the revenge game coming back.
Oh yeah, that too.
The homie better
go off.
That's like a bona fide myth, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw Gabe Davis come back and do literally nothing.
Yeah,
that was horrible. That was terrible.
I feel like revenge games used to be a thing, but it kind of like
I mean, yeah, ain't
much been happening. Hey, maybe we'll see. But I think Diggs.
I feel like in the more recent years with social media, people are a lot more friendly nowadays. Like they interact on social media. You talk to other players on other teams. Like there's not as big rivalries anymore. Like everyone's kind of cool with each other. You know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, I feel that.
There's not like that big like rivalry like type thing where people like hate each other on the other team as much, or at least I haven't seen as much in recent years.
Yeah.
Schultz is a sit, automatic sits. Schultz or Pitts, BBTB?
Schultz.
Or Pitts? You're crazy, bro.
I don't know, bro.
I'm playing Pitts.
I hate
that's
Pitts,
a bit wild.
bro.
I'm going Pitts in that one.
I hate Pitts, bro.
Yeah, has a vendetta against Pitts.
That is so
Did you get a donut from him last week?
Yes, bro. I had a donut. Oh my gosh, so frustrating.
Did that lose you the week?
No, I dogged my opponent by 90. But
what? Why are you tripping then?
I know it's just frustrating because you see all your boys go off, and then him, bro. It's
annoying, yeah.
Even though like I sound like a privileged brat right now, but by talking to homie like by 90 points, but
people are losing because they're tight ends. Like Mark Andrews. Anyways, that'll do it for this episode. We just went over the first 7 matchups. We'll cover the other 7 in the next episode. We do have 4 teams on bye. So a few less matchups to cover. So that'll do it for this episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.